Hello everyone, Daryl, the Northern Vinyl Guy, back at you with another video, and today I am going to be starting a new series, which I am going to call the Sunday Summary Series. And what this is going to be is I will be showing some of the vinyl records that I have played throughout the week. I will be trying to do this series every Sunday. And so my goal is to show one Canadian artist that I listen to support the Canadian music industry. I would also like to show one soundtrack that I have listened to throughout the week. I do have quite a few soundtracks in my collection. I would like to show a compilation album that I listened to throughout the week, whether that is a greatest hits compilation or a K-Tel record or something along those lines. And then I would like to show a good listen. So just a record that I pulled out of my collection that I found was a very good listen. And then along with that, at the very end, I'm going to show you some other spins that I had on the turntable. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this series. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this every Sunday. But those are the basic criteria for this Sunday Summary Series that I am going to be putting out. So, without further ado, here we go, and let's check out what I spun this week.
Up in the north, where the vinyl spin, there's a guy with a passion, let the stories begin. Northern vinyl guy with a tale to tell, obscure and rare, he knows them well. Drop the needle, let the music fly, discover hidden gems with Northern Vinyl Guy.
Alright, so the first thing that I spun, or at least this isn't in any particular order, but the first thing on my Sunday summary here from this week is my Canadian Artist of the Week, and that would be Bruce Coburn's Mummy Dust, and this is the one with the hit song, The Coldest Night of the Year. This album was released in 1981, and I've just started getting into Bruce Coburn. I do like his other track, one in particular, Lovers in a Dangerous Time. I know that the Bare Naked Ladies redid that one in the 1990s, but I definitely prefer the Bruce Coburn one. But I mean, this album here, I mean, it's produced by Gene Martinek and was released under True North Productions. True North always has this cool label with the little arrow at the top there. But The Coldest Night of the Year is a great track. But that's not to say that the rest of this album isn't great. I mean, from start to finish, in my opinion, you got Silver Wheels, you got Loner, Joy Will Find a Way, Thoughts on a Rainy Afternoon, and then it finishes off side one with It's Going Down Slow. And then side two starts with The Coldest Night of the Year, followed by Laughter, Red Brother, Red Sister, You Don't Have to Play the Horse, Dweller by a Dark Stream, and ends with All the Diamonds in the World. This is a really cool album. I am glad that I picked this up this summer. It's one of the ones that I picked up at that antique shop in St. Thomas, Ontario. So yeah, I mean, if you don't have this one, check it out. Really good stuff. Bruce Coburn's more like I would call it like folk and a little bit of folk rock, soft rock. Really cool stuff. Check them out. All right, now secondly, I would like to show one soundtrack that I have out of my collection. This one I just picked up. It just came in not that long ago. One of my favorite movies of the 1980s. I actually have the album by the singer itself that also includes the main song for this particular movie, the title of the movie actually, and that is The Never Ending Story. And there you can see the little luff dragon there. I don't know what's going on here. This part of the album actually ripped or it's peeled off, and it has a stamp on it that says withdrawn on it. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it came with the it's not a hype sticker, but it's actually right on the cardboard there. You know, features the hit single performed by Lamal, The Never Ending Story, and it has, you know, it's an instrumental here most of it with the exception of the Never Ending Story. And it kind of goes through. It's by Giorgio Moroder's the production. The title song is by Lamal. And the other producer is Klaus Doldinger. But Never Ending Story. And then it kind of goes through the movie itself with the Swamps of Sadness, the Ivory Tower song, Ruined Landscape, and then Sleepy Dragon. And then, of course, some really cool stuff here. You know, Bastion's Happy Flight, Fantasia, Atreyu's Quest. There's the Atreyu meets Falkor, Moonchild, Gmork, you name it, it's all on there. The different songs that are found in the movie. This is a great movie from the 1980s. If you haven't checked this one out, definitely suggest that. I never seen the Never Ending Story 2. It doesn't really have a lot of the same characters in it. I should check it out one of these days, but I heard it definitely does not meet the same standards as the Never Ending Story itself. So soundtrack for the week is the Never Ending Story. Spoiler alert, I do have another soundtrack in here, but I will go over that later. All right, a compilation. This week's compilation is a K-Tel record, and that is the fantastic 22 original hits. This is K-Tel was this is a pretty bad cover. The record's kind of fallen through here. But K-Tel was out of Winnipeg and Montreal. They took a whole pile of songs, specifically from the 60s and the 70s, and they kind of turned them into a big compilation where they shortened a lot of the songs from their album versions. Some of the ones, might have been, fit to be played on, say, local radio and stuff like that, especially if they were longer songs. But this one here, it's got a whole lot of great songs. Stories from Brother Louie. It's got Elton John's Crocodile Rock. It's got some Dawn featuring Tony Orlando. Got some Bill Withers, Lobo, Barry White. On side 2, it's got the Stampeders. Got a little Jim Stafford. Another Elton John with Rocket Man, Maureen McGovern. You name it, it's on here. 22 hits. Check it out if you have a chance. Usually you can get these in bargain bins and your local Value Village and stuff like that. But I am not embarrassed to say I do have a lot of comp albums, a lot of K-Tel in my collection. And I think what it stems to is my grandfather, my dad, in their collections when I was really young. These things you could order from your local magazines and call them in, that kind of thing. They were cheap. And of course, not growing up, but living 5 hours from the city of Winnipeg, we used to visit my grandparents. It wasn't uncommon, seeing that the manufacturer was right there in the city, that people would have had these in their collection at that time. All right, a great listen that I have in my collection. I haven't pulled this one up very, very much, but for whatever reason, I just wasn't into this singer at all. My dad wasn't really into this either. However, in listening to this Greatest Hits album, you gotta respect Janis Joplin. This is the Greatest Hits. This is solid from start to finish. Now that I'm getting, a little bit older and appreciate 60s and 70s music a lot more. And of course it was tragic. She died part of that 27 club. But this Greatest Hits, it's hard to see. But it has, Piece of My Heart on it, followed by Summertime, Try Just a Little Bit Harder, Cry Baby is amazing, Me and Bobby McGee, and then on side 2, you got Down on Me, you got Get It While You Can, Bye Bye Baby, which is another fantastic song, Move Over, and then it finishes off with a little Ball and Chain. So some Janis Joplin, that was on the turntable this week. Fantastic stuff. I do have Pearl as well in my collection, and I'm going to check that one out in the near future. So yeah, a little bit of Janis Joplin. And then some other spins that I had this week. I did have another Canadian artist here. I have talked about this album briefly. This is Carol Baker, Canadian country singer. She came up to my high school. I can't remember for the life of me what the reason she came up to do a concert. But she was there. there was about 40 or 50 people in the stands. And I mentioned this is on the Excelsior label. But I was listening to this for the first time. I actually bought this while she was here in Moosonee at my school. This was sealed as of yesterday or the day before when I opened it. But it's got some songs that did chart, I guess, on the Canadian country music charts. The most specific one is Mama, What Does Cheatin' Mean? Where, the daughter in the song is asking her mom if cheating is okay, and is daddy going to be coming home, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of a sad song. But then you've got like Friendship for Love's Sake, which is all right. I'm Giving Up My Baby is just, I don't know. This girl is thinking about giving up her child. She's pregnant, and then all of a sudden the dad comes back in and he says that he loves her, and so she decides that she wants to keep it now for the sake of staying together as a family. I don't know. That was kind of a weird, just a little bit of a weird song, but I suppose back in the 1980s, that's kind of how things were. Behind Blue Eyes, It's Not Love, that's side 1. And then side 2, Ain't Nothing Like a Rainy Night, How Close Am I to Losing You, Wild Mountain Roses, Lover on the Shelf, and Where Could You Take Me? I mean, I would say that this is your typical country, just life is a struggle, get through it, and everything's going to be positive on the other side. So, yeah, I mean, I know I'm not selling this album, but, I'll keep it in my collection just for the sake of having Canadian artists and the support. And I mean, she's won all kinds of awards as a Canadian artist, but yeah, just not one of my favorite listens. But yeah, there you go. I mean, it's got an exciting story, but some of the content on that album is just, I don't know, it's like a roller coaster ride in my opinion. And then, I have to go with a little bit of 80s, and this is Heart, and I believe that this is a self-titled album, and this album is fantastic. This one is the one that has What About Love on it. It's got Never on it, which is probably my favorite Heart song, and then it's got These Dreams. I'm having a little hard time getting the record out. And of course, there's the back side of the album. Sorry for the glare. Of course, Ann and Nancy Wilson. I mean, they just make this band. This is some great stuff. Power ballads, you name it. That nice women's rock, 1980s stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have this in your collection, I mean, you gotta grab it. This is a great album, in my opinion. And then a second soundtrack. I mean, this is the last album that I'm going to show. Who could forget Cocktail and Tom Cruise? I believe this one was done after the Top Gun. Yeah, it was done after Top Gun, 1988. And of course, I mean, I know that this one has one of the most hated Beach Boys songs of all time. But I mean, that particular Beach Boys song, Kokomo, got them back on the charts. I understand that the band was kind of in turmoil and they have a new, different lead singer and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's got Wild Again by Starship, powerful stuff, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, Since When, Robbie Neville, Don't Worry, Be Happy, classic, Bobby McFerrin, and then of course the Georgia Satellites and their version of the Hippie Hippie Shake. And then you got Kokomo on the backside, John Cougar Mellencamp's Rave On, All Shook Up by Ry Cooder, the Elvis Presley cover, Oh, I Love You So, Preston Smith, and then Little Richard's Tutti Frutti to finish it all off. I mean, this is a great soundtrack. It's just got all kinds of killer stuff on it, or at least I think it does. So yeah, that was this week, and the listening. And I do have 145, this one up earlier today, but I did play some Herman's Hermits. And of course, Peter Noon, the lead singer, used to be host his own show, My Generation, on VH1. And of course, this is the classic, I'm Henry VIII. Excellent stuff. I do have a Friday 45s RPM series that I do. I forgot to post it on Friday, so I posted it this morning. But if you like to listen to some 45s, check it out. That's been the week in review here. Sunday summary. I hope that you enjoyed. If you like my content and you're a new subscriber, please click the subscribe button. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave some comments down in the section below. If you are a returning subscriber, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you think that this is going to be a good series. I'm hoping to do it every Sunday, week in review. Check it out. I'm done for today. I will see you on the next one. Everyone, have a good one. Stay safe.